Extra extra, read all about it. Welcome to the Empires Recap, and today we'll be going over the chaos and drama of our somewhat respected rulers. This week, a new queen arises through violence, and a new business is in town that's supposedly run by monsters. Catherine has invited everyone to a princess tea party, and Joel has to dress the part. He's not got a proper dress, given that all he wears are togas, so he reuses an old one from MCC 25. If it's good enough for a competition, it's good enough for a tea party. They're in the middle of a game of hide and seek when Pix departs from the world of the living and Scott takes the crown. The changing heads means a new rule is made.
We spent some time discussing what happened to Pix, and I think I figured it out.
Hey.
It was Professor Mustard in the dining room with a candlestick.
Sausage is wearing yellow. He's a mustard colour.
Joel heads to Crimea to build something representing his empire for Scott's crown rule, and builds a small statue of himself, complete with the demonstration of some of his godly abilities. He then goes to check out Ollie's music statue, and as they're comparing their jumping stats, Lizzie comes by, and they all start getting their daily jumps in. Back at Stratos, Joel checks on his new sugarcane farm, only to find the collection chest empty. When he goes to inspect the redstone, he finds a minecart siphoning off his farm's entire output. This seems like the work of one sneaky goblin. Joel doesn't have time to worry about that though, since he has a mega base to work on. He adds the roof to the mega palace, bringing it one step closer to completion. While he's been busy at his base, the crown has changed hands yet again, so he runs over to Dawn to pick up some bees and builds a garden for them for Gem's crown rule. Now that Pix isn't king anymore, it's time to get Catherine's axe back. However, now she must build in Scott's kingdom, and what better than the absolutely perfect Libergrove castle that has nothing wrong with it at all.
What's this? The ceremonial Ollie Pelican Bell? Why is everyone so weird?
After seeing some odd build choices from others while scouting her plot, Catherine heads home for supplies. The build looks small and very adorable, and then it's time for some decorations. Wait, did that bee just speak? Turns out Gem's queen now. Her rule over the empires is to help her protect the bees, so clearly it's time to make a garden. It's honeycomb shaped, of course, and it looks like the garden is queen bee approved.
Despite all this crown business going around, Whip's spawn product is coming along nicely, replacing a lot of the stone with a nice block palette and a copper roof that will age as more people spend time at spawn. Whip meets with Shelby at spawn and commandeers her skills to help build the interior centre of spawn. Lee runs an errand in the ancient capital. Pix lends him some beacons for decorative purposes, and when Whip gets back to spawn, Shelby has completed the entire centre. Whip adds his beacon flex to the outer ring and the chandelier, before visiting the new queen, sunglasses and all, to pick up his allotted bees. Despite living in a cave, Whip does his best to bring the outdoors indoors, creating a natural cave area for his bees to thrive in.
I believe I was only given one bee. So, I guess you've got this whole place to yourself, buddy. Have a pickle.
An expansion in Gobland is underway, and that means finally relocating the nether portal. It's been hidden away in Whip's basement since day one, so after a bunch of resource gathering, the portal finds a new home. The build really takes influence from the nether heat, with proper goblin decoration. The final step is linking the portal up to the nether roof and decorating it with dripstone. It blocks the path to Lizzie a bit, which is unfortunate, and Whip purposely built it to be taller than Joel's. Perhaps not a wise goal for a portal, when he and Joel are at least meant to be on trading terms. The new expansion leaves space for a lot of new businesses, and the aqueduct gave Whip the idea for a glow squid area. Glow squid need deep pools of water, plain stone, and a lot of darkness, so Whip takes away all the torches and replaces them with glow lichen. Still spawn proof on the paths, but dark in the water. A quick trip to Animalia nets him some name tags, but no squid have spawned in the area, and the wiki tells him why. Literally, his Y level is too high. Mining out an area for squids to spawn, Whip spends a considerable amount of time bringing them to the surface of Gobland and filling up all the pools he built. It ends up looking pretty good for up high.
Huh. So that's what it feels like to be empty.
That great witch, Shelby, needs to take some risks, but oh well, she's not here anymore. This new Shelby decides to really work on making this little village a kingdom. She cuts down fields of trees and works on her witch tower, for which she does need some materials. Her potentially illegal shopping trip is pulled aside when Whip asks for her expert help in designing the centre of sport. Everyone across the lands will know she built it. Back in the Evermore, she's being haunted yet again. They break her doors, her village is a zombie, and they try killing her with a healing potion. Her toad also goes for the zoomies, but who broke the lead? Whatever is haunting her seems to try and communicate. It's unnerving and unintelligible, but an attempt is something.
Is that English? I don't even know if that's English. I don't speak French. I don't know what you're trying to communicate. I can't help you. And I'm like a little scared. Is it backwards? Are you evil? Are you a demon? Are you angry? I don't like those set noises. They're scary.
Does anyone remember the Dis 13 saga in the Evermore? Well, it appears it's starting again. The creature, whatever it is, keeps hiding the discs around her empire and littering soul lanterns. Whip flies in to visit, but he can't hear a thing, even with those ears of his.
Wait, you don't hear it?
No.
Are you?
Hear what? I hear the llama.
Oh.
The toad that sounds like a horse.
Okay, so the voices are getting worse. That's probably not good.
Whip clearly thinks she's gone a little insane, but she definitely heard that demon summoning disc. And when her house starts getting filled with all sorts of creatures, you really can't deny something's going on.
One more nap, right? One more nap. Oh, you have a friend! Hey, listen, this is great. Like they're buddies already. A little bit too close, some might say.
The frauds can stay, but she uses the bats as target practice and ushers the bees out onto her roof. Left alone for a little while means she can go back to Animalia. Last time she was there, she missed a piece of evidence for the Fae. She finds skulk spread round in the attic of the town hall, and she arrives home under the darkness of night and nearly misses the collection of black wall statues that have been built around the Evermore. She breaks them all down and throws the evidence of her hauntings into a fire. The discs, the wool, the jukeboxes. She does get back to work on the spawn circle, and she promises to bring the Evermore up to be one of the greatest empires ever seen.
Since Spawn has been redecorated, Jimmy has added this new tower. He really wants to add TNT, but that could end very badly for him.
The TNT. But yeah, it's in progress, and it is looking good.
While he leaves nice signs at Joel's base, he spots a rather funny face on the side of one of the islands. It leaves him in a joyous mood while he robs Lizzie of her gunpowder, because he is the gunpowder. Back home in Tumbletown, the Fae fungi seem to have spread more. In order to stop this, he builds a glass box around it, not unlike the one encased in Hermitopia. While he's there, Sausage comes flying in with an offer for a peace treaty and empanadas. He also offers some hot gossip. Sanctuary is hosting a battle for the crown, requested by Queen Gem herself. Later, he heads over, and after watching Ollie attempt, he's confident in his ability to do better. He does not. Queen Gem wipes the floor with him, and he doesn't win the crown.
While the threat of evil Sausage rests in his heart, the threat of monsters he summoned is still about in Sanctuary. Sausage can't stop them coming, but he can certainly slow them down. Using a spell, he slows the flow of them coming over, at least until he can figure out a way to pacify them. Great Witch Shelby arrives to pick up calcite for the spawn build. She looks strange, but only because she took her sweater off. No other reason. She asks after evil Sausage, to which Sausage replies he's mostly fixed the issue.
Oh, yeah, he's around. He is? He's closer than you think.
The Queen Gem comes to check on his bees, and while she's there, she informs him on the threat to her life. He offers to murder Jimmy, but first he needs to pick up his outfit. He travels back to Mythland and picks it up, then to Tumbletown to kill Jimmy. He better not mess with the crown now. Meanwhile, back at the well, the monsters are about to break through. He concocts a cocktail to pacify them, made of crushed amethyst clusters, weakness potions, and holy water. They come out under his command. And he gives them jobs at his new empanada factory. It's the newest food Sanctuary has to offer, and the best domesticated monsters are on the force. It's sure to be a hit in the markets. Queen Gem needs a few things to help her demonstrate her power as queen. One is a cage hanging from her new fort that Ollie tests out. How he always ends up in cages is a mystery. And another is a sword. Now that there's a crown on her head, she needs a little more protection. She takes a visit around the Empires to prove that they're following the laws she set. First stop, Tumbletown, where Jimmy's has set up a nice greenhouse for the bees she entrusted him with. The assassination attempt he tries is a bit of a downer on our visit, but oh well.
Don't, please,
Really?
please, no,
Really?
wait, just give me a
Really?
sec. Let me just, I've got no rockets on me, just let me. Just hand it over, and we don't have to go any further. Just throw it on the ground.
She promises not to tell Sausage about his assassination attempt, and instead tells him Jimmy threatened her. That's totally fits within his arc. Speaking of Sausage, she visits Sanctuary for a tour of his greenhouse soon after. He is very enthusiastic to help the Queen, and promises to attempt assassination of Jimmy in her honor.
And you know what happened? I just went to check on my bees for the very first time at Jimmy's, and he had this great thing set up. But then, because he's evil, he tried to kill me.
I knew it! You want me to kill him? I'll kill him right now. Anything for the Queen.
I think you should kill him.
With the confirmation of people willing to attack her, she works on increasing her armory. A crossbow, the piercing princess, and a much better sword to stay with her from now on. Fwip makes a stop by to pick up his bees, and Jem spends some time just taking care of Dawn. She adds a vineyard, trades with her villagers, and feels a presence watching her. Gossip tells her it's Scott, and since she did steal the crown from him, she probably needs a chestplate, just in case. The paranoia is making her go a little insane, but a distraction comes in Sausage visiting with a business proposition. She confesses to him a desire to get rid of the crown over some fresh empanadas. Sausage is a pretty big gossip, so he spreads the word that Jem will be fighting to find her successor in the sanctuary area. 3 challengers show up: Ollie, Catherine, and Jimmy. The battle is wooden swords only. Ollie is soundly defeated, even after he tries intimidating her by wearing her head. Jimmy provides a harder fight, but is still defeated. Catherine is confident in her abilities, and backs herself up by defeating the Queen and taking the mantle.
And with that, join us next week for more chaos and shenanigans. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and thanks to everyone helping out with the project. Check them all out down below.